President Trump's Iran strategy is drawing criticism from within his own party as confusion mounts over America's endgame. The White House maintains Trump is firmly in control of military operations, but Republican lawmakers are increasingly frustrated by what they call mixed messaging about war objectives. Sources close to the administration revealed deep divisions over whether the goal is regime change, nuclear disarmament, or regional containment. Senior GOP senators expressed concerns during closed-door briefings this week, questioning the lack of clear metrics for success. The mixed signals have also confused international allies, with European partners struggling to coordinate their diplomatic responses. Military analysts warn that unclear objectives could lead to mission creep, potentially drawing the United States into a prolonged regional conflict. Iran's leadership has capitalized on the apparent discord, portraying America as divided and uncertain. As operations enter their fourth week, pressure is mounting on Trump to articulate a coherent exit strategy that can unite both his party and allied nations behind a common vision. Military operations against Iran have intensified as the joint U.S.-Israeli campaign enters its 27th day with no clear resolution in sight. President Trump continues to assert that Iranian leaders are seeking to negotiate a settlement, though Tehran has publicly rejected any diplomatic overtures while under attack. The escalating conflict has seen expanded targeting of Iranian infrastructure, including key energy facilities and military installations across multiple provinces. Regional observers report increasing civilian displacement as operations spread beyond initial military targets. International humanitarian organizations have documented growing casualties, though exact figures remain disputed by all parties involved. The prolonged campaign has strained regional alliances, with several Arab nations calling for immediate de-escalation through the United Nations Security Council. Oil markets continue to experience significant volatility, with global prices reaching multi-year highs as supply chains face disruption. Iran's proxy forces across the region have responded with increased activity, raising fears of broader regional destabilization. Military experts warn that without clear political objectives, the current trajectory could lead to an extended conflict with unpredictable consequences for Middle Eastern stability. First Lady Melania Trump shared the spotlight with an advanced humanoid robot during the final day of her International Education Technology Summit at the White House. The robot accompanied Mrs. Trump throughout presentations in the East Room, demonstrating artificial intelligence applications in classroom learning environments. The three-day summit, part of her Fostering the Future Together initiative, brought together education ministers and technology leaders from over 30 countries to discuss digital learning innovations. The AI demonstration showcased real-time language translation, personalized tutoring capabilities, and interactive educational content delivery that adapts to individual student needs. International delegates observed as the robot engaged directly with students via video conference, answering questions in multiple languages and providing customized learning experiences. The initiative represents a significant shift toward integrating artificial intelligence into global education systems, with participating nations committing to pilot programs in their respective countries. Technology executives present outline plans for expanding AI-powered educational tools to underserved communities worldwide. As artificial intelligence continues reshaping educational landscapes globally, this summit positions the United States as a leader in promoting responsible AI integration in learning environments across international borders. Social media giants Meta and YouTube have been found liable in a groundbreaking addiction trial, with a jury awarding $6 million to a woman who claimed the platforms deliberately designed addictive features. The Los Angeles Superior Court verdict marks the first successful case linking social media companies directly to user addiction, establishing legal precedent that could reshape the entire industry. The plaintiff argued that algorithmic design features, including infinite scroll mechanisms and targeted notification systems, were intentionally crafted to maximize user engagement regardless of psychological harm. Expert testimony revealed internal company documents showing executives were aware of addiction potential but prioritized user retention over safety measures. The jury found both companies failed to adequately warn users about addiction risks while implementing features designed to exploit psychological vulnerabilities. Legal analysts predict this verdict will embolden hundreds of similar cases currently working through the court system, potentially exposing tech companies to billions in damages. The decision has already prompted emergency board meetings at major social media platforms as they reassess liability exposure and content delivery strategies. This landmark ruling could fundamentally alter how social media platforms design user interfaces and implement algorithmic recommendations moving forward. The British government is closely examining implications of the landmark U.S. social media addiction verdict as ministers consider strengthening domestic regulations on digital platforms. Political editor Chris Mason reports that the Los Angeles jury's decision against Meta and YouTube has accelerated discussions within Whitehall about potential legislative responses to social media harm. Senior government sources indicate the $6 million verdict provides compelling evidence that current regulatory frameworks may be insufficient to protect users from deliberately addictive platform design. The Department for Digital, Culture, Media, and Sport is reportedly reviewing existing Online Safety Act provisions to determine whether additional measures targeting algorithmic addiction are necessary. Parliamentary committees are expected to examine how the U.S. legal precedent might inform British regulatory approaches, particularly regarding duty of care obligations for social media companies. Consumer protection advocates are pressing for immediate action, arguing that British users face identical risks from platforms found liable in American courts. The government faces pressure to balance innovation concerns with user protection, as tech industry representatives warn that overly restrictive regulations could stifle digital economy growth. This transatlantic legal development may ultimately reshape how democratic governments worldwide approach social media platform accountability and user safety protection measures.